If the version of you that's emerging right now had a flavor, what would it taste like?
Pad Thai.
Roast.
And so one day I thought, you know what? I'm not happy here. And I lasted about a year. And I said, I can't do this anymore.
I've been searching for these, greater opportunities in my field. I want to be a TV writer, and those opportunities just haven't come right now. And I was viewing myself as sort of having failed, at becoming the thing that I was trying so hard, and accepting that maybe that's not the thing that I should be doing right now in this second is hard.
I think that's the key to everything. Mm-hmm. Just the resilience, just the ability to say, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to keep moving forward regardless of what's happening.
Hey friends, before we start, I have a quick favor to ask. If you are loving these conversations, please take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is completely free and it helps support this little passion project of mine. And if you think you already did, please double check for me. Thank you so much for being here. Now enjoy the episode. Chris, Caitlin, welcome to Kirbylicious Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And to our viewers and listeners, this is a space where I bring two together, an older voice and younger voice, to share their lived experiences and wisdom around a topic. And today's topic, I really love it. We're going to be talking about who are you becoming? And I really love this topic because, we are all in the middle of becoming in, whether we realize it or not. But before we start talking about this topic, I'd like to do a quick introduction. All right. For our viewers at home, Chris and Caitlin, this is the very first time that they meet each other. So let's start with you, Chris. Tell us about who you are, age, and what's taking most of your energy these days.
My full name is Christopher Burton. I'm 64 years old. Currently, I've had lots of different careers and things that I've done in life, but currently my focus has been on bringing art programming to senior communities. I did that before, but it was mostly in high school and middle school and some elementary schools. But I made a slight shift now, and now I'm bringing those same programs to senior centers. I am not the artist, not the art teacher. I bring on my friends who are all artists. And when I say artists, I mean people who make a living doing this.
Okay.
Very different now than before. The seniors have a different level of appreciation for what I'm bringing to them. And that helps me to just really just appreciate what I'm doing even more.
Yes.
And unlike when you work with students, you just have to know that you're doing the best thing and that you're going to touch somebody somewhere who knows when it's going to really reveal itself. But the seniors, they let you know right away. Nice. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And in the way that I'm doing it now, I know that we're getting more seniors to come out to the senior centers, which is really helpful because a lot of seniors have a tendency as they get older, they tend to isolate more and more and have less social interaction. So we know that we're doing that as well.
Wow.
And then also, this is the part that I do, is I give a training and facilitation in mindfulness. So I'm teaching them how to sort of regulate and hope and improve their social emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Through mindfulness.
Yeah. Yeah. Caitlin?
Hi, my name is Caitlin Avila. I'm 26 years old. Sorry, I almost said 25 because my birthday was just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, hearing Chris say what he's doing right now is so incredible to me because I feel like I'm right now, so much of my energy is going towards searching for that kind of purpose and that sort of, just something to be doing that's like useful with my time. Because since graduating, I graduated from a master's program last year it's been a little bit of a struggle to find a job in my, my field. So what's taking most of my energy right now is just survival jobs, working at a movie theater and doing paid audience gigs when I need extra money. And I do a little bit of work for UC San Diego. And so all of that takes up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. And what I really need to be doing is writing because that's my passion. So yeah, I guess what's taking up my energy right now is maybe not what I wish was taking up my energy, but, constantly working towards becoming what I want to be.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that, Caitlin. Now, in my podcast, I always like to do a flavor check-in. So if the version of you that's emerging right now had a flavor, what would it taste like and why? Chris.
Good question.
Thank you.
Definitely savory. And if I close my eyes and think about what it would feel like and taste like, it would be some really not too rich, but flavorful Thai food. Maybe pad Thai. And why pad Thai? Because it's just very satisfying to me. And it just kind of keeps me, it's not too much either way. It's not too sweet. It's not too sour. It's just right there in that sweet spot where I personally try to live in just a place of equanimity and calm and peace, where I'm not too pushed one way or the other based upon what's coming at me from the outside. And you think, well, what does that have to do with pad Thai? Well, because it's just simple. It's simple, but it's satisfying.
Yes. Yes. Delicious. How about you, Caitlin?
For me right now, I would say it's floral and maybe a little bit bitter. So maybe like a rose tea. Because, it can be sweet at times for sure, but there is that little bit of tannic bite, that like bitterness where part of me is like, am I on the right path? Why is it taking so long? And so there is, like I said, that bitterness, that sweetness, but I think the floral note for me is really about like blooming, blossoming, becoming, really. And so it's like a hopefulness. I think, springtime is here and I'm like, it's the springtime of my life as well, which sounds corny, but it's really a moment of change and transition. So yeah, rose tea.
So today, we're talking about becoming, not what we've achieved, but who we are evolving into. So let's start with looking back. Let's start with you, Caitlin. When you were younger, who did you think you would become?
I don't know that I thought about it so much when I was young. It's a strange thing to think about as a child, because when you're young and people ask you, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? You have no frame of reference for what they're talking about. You kind of just parrot the sort of things that you've seen and heard. And so for me, I remember being a child and we had some sort of like, this is elementary school, by the way, career type like discussion where it's like, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? And that's something that, a lot of kids get asked. And I was like, oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. Which is fascinating because I did end up becoming a teacher. And I taught a class in grad school. And I might be doing some more teaching in the future. But it's not for the reason that I said that when I was a child. The reason why I said that when I was a child was because there were so many teachers that I had that I loved and that were so inspiring to me or created such safe spaces for me to create and explore. And so I kind of just wanted to be that. That's what I wanted to do, was be like the kind of person who creates those spaces for other people. And so, maybe that has sort of, bled into today and what I want to do now. But I think there was definitely a different perspective when I was a kid and what I thought I was going to do and the reasons why I thought I was going to do those things.
Cool. Teacher. How about you, Chris? Who did you think you would become?
Well, this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I thought I would be a teacher.
There you go. We have teachers in the room.
And the reason is because I was always really smart in math. And, that's just not a thing that a lot of kids are good at a very early age. And when they are, it's like it's pointed out that you're good at this. And so I don't want to say forced, but I was encouraged at a very young age to help other kids in math. I mean, really early, like elementary. So it was natural for me to think that, I'm going to be a teacher. Until I got older and I realized, they don't make much money. So I wanted to do something else with this math background. So I sought engineering. And then when I came through and went to college, engineering was a big thing. And I could do that because of my math background. And so that's what I chose. So I did math and I did not do the teaching because I wanted the money. But after 7 years of that, I realized, okay, this is not good. This is not good. I don't like it. I could see my future becoming very, very unhappy if I continued in that industry. And particularly, I worked in the aerospace industry during the 80s. And
wow.
I was pretty much biting the hand that fed me. What do I mean by that? When I would go to the voting poll, I did not vote according to those contracts that would help promote my industry that I was in. It just didn't make any sense. And so one day I thought, you know what? I'm not happy here. So what I'm going to do is go to another company, make a big jump, make more money, and at least I'll have more money. I'm not going to be happy there either, but at least I'll have more money. So I jumped from one aerospace company to another, and I lasted about a year. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And so then I left aerospace, and I remember thinking, what am I going to do? I'm just going to go through my savings. And a friend suggested, he said, well, so that you don't go through your savings, why don't you just go down, take the CBEST, which is a California Basic Educational Skills Test for teachers. Take the CBEST test, get yourself, a little emergency credential, and at least sub, so you're not just like going through your savings. And I ended up doing that, and I became a substitute teacher, and I liked it a lot. But still, I had to be concerned about the money. So I did it for a while. And then because my background is in math, and it was really, really hard to get good math teachers, and particularly subs, every school I went to, they're like, would you stay? Would you stay? Would you stay? So one of the schools I went to encouraged me to stay. And they said, stay. We'll help you get your emergency credential. Whatever you need to do, we'll help you. And so they did. And so then that launched my career as a teacher.
Full circle.
Yes.
Yes. No, that's perfect. And thank you for sharing your story. I really love it because I was a teacher as well when I was in my 20s. I was a teacher in Bangkok, Thailand as an ESL teacher. And I loved it. And but same as you, Chris, I was really concerned about the money. And when you were young, you want more.
Yes.
You wanted more. Now, how is that different where you are right now, Caitlin?
Right now, I would say definitely when I pursued an MFA versus like a master's degree, the intention was one day I will be a professor. I want to pass knowledge along. I want to be like the people who helped me. But it wasn't something that I was really looking at doing full-time immediately, for sure. And I do think that, especially in a creative field, it's really important for the people who end up becoming professors or teachers to spend time in that field for a while first before they become a teacher. And so when I was teaching in grad school, it was only for one semester, and it wasn't something that I actually sought out myself. I was asked to do it because there was sort of a shortage in the college at the time. And one of my professors, who I really look up to and who was a mentor to me, and still is, she, had too much on her plate, and she was like, I can't take on this extra class. And so she asked me if I wanted to take this class for her instead. It was spec writing. And it was something where I was like, I don't know if I have the experience to teach. I took they make us take a teacher training course.
Oh, wow.
But I wasn't sure at the time if I had gotten enough out of that in terms of being a writing teacher specifically. And so my professor was like, well, you know the material. You've taken this course in the graduate level. I think you can do it. And so it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And so I said yes. And the pay wasn't great, as we all know about teaching. No matter what level you're at, the pay for teaching just isn't great. And I was doing another job at the same time. But yeah, taking that to where I am now, that experience was just so eye-opening for me because it was my first time. And I learned a lot about myself in terms of like what I would be like as a teacher. And so now when I'm thinking about being, a teacher, and I'm thinking about what my path looks like moving forward, I have been looking into teaching opportunities. AmeriCorps has a artist residency program that I applied to, and spend the year teaching for, once again, not great pay, but it would be something that would be really fulfilling for me personally, especially at a time where, I've been searching for these, greater opportunities in my field. I want to be a TV writer. And those opportunities just haven't come right now. And I was viewing myself as sort of having failed, at becoming the thing that I was trying so hard and I had trained so long and spent so much money on grad school to be. And accepting that maybe that's not the thing that I should be doing right now in this second is hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
What stood out for you with her answer, Chris?
Just the resilience, just the ability to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to keep moving forward regardless of what's happening. I think that's the key to everything. One of the things I noticed, particularly when I was in school, getting my degree, and, certain students clearly seemed to be gifted in math and engineering. But it really wasn't that. It was that they were just persistent and consistent, and their resilience and was there. And basically what you're saying about what you're doing right now is like, okay, being clear about what you want and just keep going for it.
I really love, Caitlin's attitude towards the situation because when I was in her age, I was impatient. What were you like, Chris?
Oh, wow. You know what? It's funny because I've been thinking about something similar to this lately. And that was, if I had to do something over in my life, this is what it would be. Because I was sort of gifted and smart in a particular area, I always went to those things. And I didn't really give those things that I wasn't good at an opportunity. And there's a lot of opportunity to do those things that you're not good at, to grow and to expand. And I think in your case, it's like, okay, you have these opportunities to grow and expand, and it may not be perfect right now. The conditions may not be perfect, but there's so much opportunity to grow.
This is the reason why I love this podcast, because if we get to listen to wisdom like this from our elders, we can take it on, like give us a map somehow to either maybe avoid mistakes or just give us a perspective. It's such a beautiful contrast because Caitlin right here, she wanted to be a writer or do that path, but she's open-minded to taking the teaching. And you were like wanting to go to aerospace, but you did it effortlessly, but the heart was not there. Mm-hmm. Tell me, Chris, how is that different from where you are right now?
Yeah, that experience as an engineer and mathematician was totally my left brain self.
Yes.
Doing its thing, which, you know, it's important to me, but I am more than my left brain.
Yes.
And
I love that.
So the other part of me was far more important and significant and mattered. And the more I sort of moved away from that sort of engineering left brain stuff, and the more I got into, you know, the teaching and the being altruistic and being able to share knowledge and experience, the more I realized how that was so much more of who I was. Like I said, I was sort of moved so toward that whole engineering thing because it was easy. You know, and I have I've had a tendency, which maybe I even still do it, to go to what's easy.
Yes. Aren't we all?
And unfortunately, it only allows you so much expansiveness in who you can be.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Chris, thank you. Your wisdom is amazing. Isn't it, Caitlin?
Yeah. Yes. And this is something I've thought a lot about. This almost feels like a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's important to say that gravitating towards what's easy, and especially in studies, so many people, I think, go into like college and higher education thinking like, okay, I know what I'm good at. I'm going to go do that. Communication and comm, which later led me to film and TV. It was something that I discovered because I was wanting to be open to change and open to new experiences and things that I didn't know if I was good at it or not, or if it would be easy or not. And it wasn't easy, but you know, it was something that I ended up being passionate about.
I think you follow your intuition. And it sounds like, you know, there's a lot of evolution from because it's all about taking the experience, and once you experience it, then you kind of know, oh, this is not for me. I wanted to talk about turning points. The turning points. Was there a moment that shifted your direction? I want to start with you, Chris. When was the shift started when you realized and you decided like, enough for the left brain and let's start working on the right brain?
I think maybe my 5th or 6th year out of college working as an engineer. I found that I wasn't satisfied with work, and that dissatisfaction was showing up in other ways in my life. So I found myself, you know, spending a lot of money, traveling more than the average, partying a whole lot. And I looked up and I'm like, this is not sustainable. And so that's when I started thinking more about, okay, well, it's not exactly what I want to do, but at least I can make more money and I can party more and I can travel more. But then once I did make the more money, I realized I just wasn't satisfied with it. And there had to be a break somewhere in this.
How old were you?
Oh, maybe 27, something like that.
Okay. That's the shift. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the shift. What did you have to let go of?
Just the idea that, oh, you're no longer going to be an engineer. You know, maybe that had a certain kind of cachet that I walked around with. Like, I know you're not an engineer. What are you? Well, I don't know. I'm between jobs. Oh, I'm a teacher or I'm a substitute teacher. You know, so I had to give up that.
What about you? In the turning points, was there a moment that shifted your direction?
Yeah. Gosh, a specific moment. I guess a recent one. So like, I don't want to talk badly about my job, but working at a movie theater is a little unglamorous for a person, especially who has like a master's degree. And so it was something where I was like, I have to shed a lot of my ego to do this for money. Like I got to do what I got to do. But there was a moment, I would say on Christmas, it was the first Christmas that I have not gotten to spend with my family, was this past Christmas. And I was just like, because I had to work, at this movie theater, because for some reason we're open on Christmas and so many people go to the movies on Christmas.
Yes.
Wow.
And I urge those people, consider the workers.
Most of them are the single ones.
No, families.
Families? Okay.
Many families. And it was just like, I'm standing there while, picturing my family having Christmas dinner and enjoying time with each other, and I'm sweeping up popcorn. And I was just like really looking inwards and thinking like, what am I doing? Why am I here? I should never have taken this job or whatever. And I had to think back to, okay, well, 2 months ago you were struggling because you didn't have enough income, and this is kind of where you have to be right now. And so I think that moment was one where, like I said, shedding my ego and being like, you know what, sometimes we have to do things that we view as, stupid or, not what we expected to get by. And that's just kind of how it is. And two, if I feel so unfulfilled in this moment, because it's not even just that, the work was bad or has been bad. It's that I felt like I didn't have any energy for my creativity after I got home from, doing that job. And I still kind of feel that way. But it was realizing that if I want to have that creative spark back, and if I want to be doing something that I view as fulfilling, then I need to seek out opportunities beyond, the exact thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that was the turning point where I was like, let me look into some of these like other opportunities. Let me look into, this specific opportunity through Artist Year. Let me just see what else is out there.
I love that, Caitlin. Your again, acceptance is always the word that comes into my mind, because when I was in your age, I'm not sure if you can relate with this, Chris, when you were younger. I don't want to do the work that's not glamorous or that like makes me feel like I'm less.
Mm-hmm.
The ego. You kind of really have this, you know what you want and you know who you are. And that's very important. I wanted to talk about what part of you right now feels stronger and what part of you feels softer in terms of who you are becoming, Chris.
Where do I feel stronger?
Yeah.
Is just in my understanding of who I am as a being. And the work that I do personally around my spirituality and through meditation and mindfulness in particular shows me who I really am, and basically through awareness. And that we take on multiple roles as we go through this incarnation, but they're just roles. And in this mindfulness space, we refer to them like the clouds. And clouds come and clouds go. But I'm not the cloud. I'm not the thing that passes through, but I am the sky that holds the space for all these to happen. And the more I get in touch with the fact that I am the sky / awareness, it makes it easier to witness all these things that I'm going through with a greater sense of equanimity without needing to react to any of it.
Yeah.
And in some cases, even look at it like, yeah, that you did that. Oh, you did that. But that's not me. So the fact that you're able to say, okay, I'm working over here at the movie place, and it's just a job, and it's not who I am. I'm a person who is experiencing this as a job right now, and this will pass, and then it'll be something else. And just not identifying is so powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah. I love that. I love the sky and clouds metaphor. I never thought of it that way. Well, I guess I thought of it that way in this sort of like transitionary, like, I am not everything that I identify as in a single moment. I am a person, and these experiences will pass. But to have the kind of the verbiage of the sky and the clouds, I think that's beautiful. It's a great way of describing it.
That's beautiful. What about you, Caitlin? What part of you feels stronger now, and what parts of you feel softer?
Stronger, I guess, in terms of resilience and being able to kind of like let things flow off of me, developing a stronger sense of self and a stronger sort of way to maintain that sense of self versus just, letting myself get lost in this job that I don't like. Something that's softer, I think. I don't know. I think I'm starting to be like softer with myself and starting to sort of have patience with myself, I guess. And not just patience with like the situations that I'm in, but patience with my feelings and acknowledging that, emotionally, I'm really tired right now. And that's something that's kind of okay. And I can take that time to rest and, help other people where I can, because sometimes the creativity in me thrives when I'm not the one doing the creating. I'm supporting other people. And I think that's where the teaching comes in as well. And so I think the strength and the softness applies to really anything in my life in any given moment.
Wow. You both touched what I've really captured is the self-compassion. That awareness. I love that. Chris, I want you to talk more about this. Who are you becoming right now? Like the spiritual side of you. How does this becoming feel different at this stage of your life?
Well, one of the major things in terms of what I'm becoming is just my ability to really witness my life, witness my experiences, witness my interaction with other people, witness how I am, how I respond to situations, and being real clear about when I am reacting to a situation as opposed to when I'm responding to a situation. Because oftentimes for me anyway, when I'm reacting, it's really not based upon the trueness of the moment. It really is because of some old patterns and old conditions that allow me to have that knee-jerk reaction to have a certain behavior, as opposed to in the moment of what's happening right there. What would I really want for myself and those around me? It's normally not a reaction. It is something that's more intentional. And I'm grateful to have the awareness that that's even something that I could do. I can be less reactive. I can be more intentional and be more responsive. To me, that's huge.
When did you start this journey, Chris?
It's been a long time. a really long time. It didn't always look like mindfulness. It looked like me just, the brain, that's such an interesting thing. Oh, how can I learn more about my brain? I remember, I'm not elementary school. I was out of college at this point, but I remember hearing a commercial to buy these tapes. And there were tapes on self-confidence, self-image, and all this. And the word mindfulness was never used. And I thought, I'm going to get those tapes. And I could get these tapes, but then if I return them in a certain amount of time, I can get the money back. So I got the tapes. And of course, young and irresponsible, I did not return them on time. So I ended up paying for them. So now I have all these tapes. And I just start listening to them. I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of cool. And that was when I first started looking into the mind and the power of the subconscious mind and how we can change the way that we see the world if we change our thoughts. Even when I was a math teacher, I'd always do this thing on Friday mornings before our tests or our exams, where I'd put them in just a more of a conscious, relaxed state of mind.
Oh, wow.
Through visualizing the test, visualizing
your students?
Yes. I would do this on Fridays before we would take our test. It wasn't something that was embraced by anybody in particular. It was just something that I would always do.
Wow.
And so cut to many years later, I'm working with a school, and then we're bringing art programs, and I'm also doing mindfulness. And the place where I was doing this was a community center / school for kids who had dropped out and who were coming back to school to get their GED. And they found out that I was doing this thing with these kids. And they're like, we hear you're doing this thing called mindfulness. Tell us more about it. And so I told them. And they said, well, we would like you to teach us, the staff. So we want it.
Nice.
And so I thought, oh, okay, I could do that. And I had some background in it, but I hadn't had a formal background. And so, and I gave them my price, and they openly said, oh, they'll pay it. I'm like, Chris, you're going to have to go out and get yourself some kind of credentials if you're going to be saying you're doing this. And so then I decided to go to UCLA and do their mindfulness program for certification. And that's how I became really more focused and centered on delivering this kind of lesson to whoever I was delivering it to.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible story. Incredible. What about you, Caitlin? How does becoming feel different at this stage of your life?
I don't know. I mean, definitely, I feel like I'm quite young to be answering that question.
Sure.
Because I guess compared to like being a child and then being a teenager, for sure. I think I'm just, once I did leave home and hit, university, I do think I started to become more open to experiences, for sure. Because as a kid, I did feel very, I was also academically inclined, but definitely more towards like English, history, that kind of thing. And so once I sort of was out of the mindset of, I have to get up, go to school every morning, do my best, get the good grades, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I was doing that in college too. But once I sort of opened myself up to more than just academics and sort of finding what I was really, really passionate about outside of I love to get good grades. It was, the sky was the limit. And so I think that's only gotten more true the older that I've gotten, that, being open to experiences like coming on a podcast for the first time, or, just anything to meet people and hear their stories and learn from them. Becoming for me now is just sort of, learning from other people and being open to those experiences. And I think for me, that's what it looks like, becoming as openness to.
Do you think, do you feel growth feels urgent or more patient now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like for me as a person, everything feels urgent. I'm constantly wanting to like seek things out. But I think I need to view it in a more patient lens for sure. Growth takes time. We all know that. And so, yeah, urgent, but wanting to be patient for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Chris? Does it feel urgent or patient now?
Oh, very patient. Very patient. Because I'm not really trying to get anywhere. I understand the importance of being in the process. You know, yes, you like to have certain goals. You want to get to certain places. And I get that that's important. But for me to get from here to there, that's a lot of life. That if I'm not aware of, if I'm only focusing on getting there, it's like, what about all the life that was happening between you getting there?
Amazing.
That you weren't enjoying and appreciating? So that I don't have the urgency at all of needing to get there, because the process is just as, if not more important than getting there.
Caitlin.
So true. So true. There is a lot of life going on in between those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I think that's beautiful, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing that, because the world needs to hear that. I think we are conditioned, a lot of people are conditioned to really get there. And what is there?
Well, I think part of it is, living in the United States, capitalism, profit, money, if that becomes your number one priority, then you're trying to get there.
Exactly.
You need to get that dollar. You need to get that bag. But I just don't have that need anymore.
Right.
I mean, I've had it at some point, and I realized once I got there, I missed the whole process. And then once I got there, there was no level of happiness there. So it's like, okay, that's not the answer.
Yeah. I hope through this podcast, through these conversations, for the viewers and audience and listeners, they might be in the point of their life right now where they're like, I got the great job, I got the house, I got this, but I'm still not happy. Should I get more? And I think your story, Chris, is so inspiring, because you've lived a long life. You had success. You taste success. From the sound of it that you shared, that you had money and you used external things, party, travel, to outsource that happiness or fulfillment that you're looking for. But when you achieve those things, you didn't feel it. And I experienced that. My shift is very profound and very dramatic. I had a health crisis. Yeah, back in New York, 2020. I had a meltdown. So I had to rush to the hospital because I could not breathe. I had a tachycardia, like a panic attack. And that was it. Like, that was the shift for me, because the doctor said, you need to see a therapist. And I'm from Asia, and we don't do therapy. And it was like an introduction for me to American life. But through that therapy, I was introduced to meditation. Yeah, through the meditation, I became a person who were more aware to things. So this time around, let's do a rapid fire question. So I will ask you one question, and whatever word comes in your mind first. Okay. Caitlin, one trait you're growing into.
Patience.
Chris.
Equanimity.
Oh. Do you know what is that? Chris, can you explain to Caitlin and to our viewers equanimity?
Equanimity is basically an even-mindedness regardless of the situation. So if there's something that you want and you desire, and say you get it, you don't cling to it. You got it. It's here. You know that it's here. That's it. There's no clinging. Likewise, if it's something that you don't want, something that you prefer not to have, you don't push it away necessarily. You just realize, oh, sadness is here. Nobody wants sadness to stay, but you don't push it away. You're just like, oh, sadness is here. Sadness is not who I am, but it's here. And allowing most of life experiences to have that level of equanimity.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and you're living into it, Chris. I can see it. I can feel it. Thank you. Caitlin, one trait you are releasing.
Ego.
Okay. Chris.
Needing to have a quote unquote sort of healthy body because I'm experiencing some health challenges, and just being okay with this body that I'm in not being the body that I'm used to having.
Yes. Yeah. Caitlin, one belief you no longer carry.
That I have to reach my goals in a certain time frame.
Nice. Yeah. Chris, one belief you no longer carry.
That there is a particular way to experience God.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. So beautiful. I'm so happy because it's just so many wisdom and inspiration coming from you, Chris, today. So thank you for that, Chris. One last question, Caitlin. One quality you hope to embody more.
Acceptance.
Okay. Chris, one quality you hope to embody more.
To love unconditionally.
Ooh. Yeah.
I think I'm a pretty compassionate and loving person, but I know I could be more. I know I could be more loving. I know it can be less conditional. That's what I would like.
Thank you, Chris. That's beautiful. Now, for someone, our viewers and our listeners at home, for someone feeling uncertain about who they're becoming, what would you gently remind them, Chris?
To be patient and first of all, you are exactly where you need to be right now, wherever that is. And try as best you can to not use anybody else's yardstick to determine where you should be, but understand that wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, and utilizing each point from here forward as an opportunity to grow and to learn more about yourself. And once you know those things about yourself, you can set reasonable expectations based upon who you are. So you're less likely to be disappointed with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Caitlin?
To be open to the changes happening within you and to accept the ones that are happening externally to you that you have no control over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you both. When you look ahead, what feels most important in the next version of you, Chris?
To understand and really accept death as it's going to happen to everybody, and to allow that to be a part of my everyday life and not be afraid of it as a concept.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is going to happen. How do you allow the reality of that to be a part of how you live your life every day.
Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful, Chris. Thank you. Caitlin, when you look ahead, what feels most important in the next version of you?
To maintain and continue nourishing my creative spark in whatever version of me I become. As long as I'm being creative in some way, I think I'll be happy.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your honesty. I am super grateful to get to know you today and learn from both of you. This 2 generational conversation has been, it's beautiful to see how, 26 years old, experienced this becoming, and at 64 years old, who is all still becoming. We are constantly becoming. So thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today. I really appreciate you. And, growth is ongoing, and it's just beautiful to witness across generations. So for our viewers at home and listeners, stay tuned for the next episode, where I will be sharing to you my reflection and what I've learned, what stayed with me with this conversation. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.